Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and right now we are still in our Black Excellence Month. I know the month is almost over, but hey, if you did feel like you didn't get enough reviews, make sure you go over to the TikTok, make sure you go over to the Instagram. We've been doing reviews, dropping them over there, rather. But right now, I'm back over here to give y'all my review of a movie that I've been waiting. I've been busy these past couple of weeks. There's been a lot going on. We popped up at Nerd Wednesdays. We've also been working on some other side projects as well. But this is a movie I've been excited to talk about because I absolutely loved this movie when I watched it. I thought it was so good. I thought it was great. That's Inside Man, and part of our Black Excellence Month. And also, this movie is celebrating 20 years as part of our 20 and 26 review series, where we take and we review movies that came out 20 years ago from 2026, and give our good old what's the word I'm looking for? Retrospective, I think that's the word I'm trying to use. But we give our review and our modern day thoughts on movies that came out 20 years ago, and Inside Man is one of them. That's right, I'm going to be talking about Inside Man, the Denzel Washington starring Spike Lee joint. Right, but before I get into that, I want to remind you guys, go ahead, hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into it. I thank you guys for continuing to tune in and continue to support the channel. It really means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the entire BrickWall team. We got some exciting things coming up that we've been working very, very hard on, and we got some things that we did that we worked very, very hard on, all aspects. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Inside Man, like I said, is a 2006 crime thriller movie directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington, Clive Owen, Jodie Foster, Christopher Plummer, Willem Dafoe, and God help me pronouncing this man's name, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Right, you all know him. He played Moto, and oh god dang it, you know the name, okay? Chiwetel Ejiofor. I was just fine when I said it the first time, and I had to go back and try to say it, and now I'm messing up the name even more. My bad, Mr. Ejiofor. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about too. I know who I'm talking about. So anyway, so this follows a cop played by Denzel Washington, who is he's a detective, and he's pretty much trying to stop a bank robbery that is in progress. He's like a hostage negotiator, matter of fact, now that I think about it. And so the movie kind of opens up with the robbery. He's like explaining the situation that's going on to the audience, which comes with a very cool twist, which I won't spoil here. But he's basically like he breaks into him and this crew that he has with him. They break into the bank. They are all dressed alike, so obviously, so you can't tell who they are. And they take the hostages inside the bank, and they dress them up just like them, so that way it'll be harder to distinguish between who's who. And Denzel Washington, like I said, his character, he's a hostage negotiator. He's kind of like on the come up pretty much, and this is like his big moment to shine. So he's in typical Denzel fashion, he kind of takes control of the situation, and he's trying to find the best way to get the hostages out, stop the robbery, and pretty much be the hero of the situation. Chiwetel Ejiofor is his he's pretty much his sidekick in this, and Willem Dafoe is the head of the police strike team that Denzel Washington comes in and takes control of. So right off the bat, I gotta say, I like heist movies. I like some crime thriller movies. This one was actually one of the more interesting ones I've seen. Like I said before, this really it's a real good testament to not just Spike Lee's ability to direct, because I've only seen movies like certified Spike Lee joints. You know what I'm saying? Like Do the Right Thing, Crooklyn. Well, I haven't seen Do the Right Thing. I'm capping on that, but I have seen Crooklyn. It's like capitalized on like that signature style that he had. Well, not like it. I messed up my sentence. It doesn't capitalize on the signature style that he has, but it does present his abilities to be a versatile director, something that I was not fully familiar with Mr. Spike Lee. This is a really good heist movie. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, not heist, but like in terms of just like a crime thriller, right? So and I'm looking at certain because I have notes. Okay, I have notes of certain parts that I want to talk about. I came prepared. Okay, usually I'm not so prepared, but I'm prepared now. Okay, I'm getting told you we kind of trying to upgrade it, right? And plus, I've been sitting on this review. Honest to God, I've been sitting on this review for like far longer than I should have. And like I said, it's been a really busy past couple of weeks. I had the fresh thoughts in my head, so I had to go back and write these down. So I'm going to be reading my notes a lot, just of different points of the movie that I thought were interesting. Something I usually don't do for long-time viewers. But and if it's your first time, just hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Go rock with us, rock with us, rock with us. We appreciate it. So anyway, so yeah, so I mentioned how they pretty much dress everybody in different groups and stuff like that. So pretty much what happens is that I gotta get everybody's name. Y'all know I'm bad, but Denzel Washington's character, I think his name is Keith Frazier. So he pretty much like I said, he comes in, he takes charge of negotiations with the robber and everything, who's played by Clive Owens, and yeah. So I'm trying to think. All right, I gotta look at my notes now. That's why I gotta look at my notes. So okay, so yeah, so pretty much they are it kind of like goes into, and I don't really want to spoil a lot of it for you because I think like this would be a good like fresh watch for you. But so like at first it's like, okay, well, what's in the bank that they want, right? Like obviously it's money, but they're after like they start to find out like, okay, they're after a specific part of the bank. They're after like a specific section, right? But even before they kind of get to uncovering that, there is the head of the bank who calls in Jodie Foster's character. Jodie Foster, am I saying it right? I get these white women confused. Yeah, calls in Jodie Foster's character, who was like I think they refer to her as like a handler or something, or she's like she's pretty much the person they call to help make a situation go away. She's not like a hitman or nothing like that, but she like uses like certain connections to kind of get things done and get things taken care of. So she kind of enters into the frame because the bank owner wants her to help out because he has something in there that he doesn't want to get on Earth, pretty much. And so she pretty much gets all this like authority and stuff like that with like the mayors and stuff like that. And she is bought on, not necessarily bought into the team, but she is bought in as an asset. And her relationship with Denzel Washington's character, I mean, their chemistry together was amazing in this movie. I did like their chemistry. I did like how they played off each other. You could see where Jodie Foster kind of was like this, like, oh, I know what I'm doing. This is my specialty. I'm, chest puffed out, big dog in the room. Denzel's also, what I'm saying? He's like oh, yeah, you might be big dog. And I get that you got a little bit of rank over me, but I'm still big dog too. So, I may not be on the same level as what you as you are, but y'all can put me on that level and I can find out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to be big dogs and try to leave me back in the back behind? No. I'm gonna be big dog right along with y'all. And that's one thing that I really do love about Denzel's character in this movie is that he wasn't just trying to like sit back and just like play things just like soft and easy and smooth. Like he was like, yo, I know I'm the shit. I know I got it. I know I can do this. So let me show y'all how I'm rocking the show. Let me do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect you. I'm gonna let you finish. Okay. But I got this too. Okay. So and throughout the movie, and they kind of keep it a little bit vague as to what it is that the bank owner wants. Like they reveal it, but then they also still keep it vague at the same time. But it's really the fact of what the robber wants, right? So at one point, it becomes like this cat and mouse type of ordeal where Clive Owens, he's like, he's of course he's on the inside, he's answering the phones, he's sending people out that are dressed like the robbers, so they really don't know who exactly is committing the crime. They they do this really cool thing like where I won't say it's like an intermission or so, but it's like the in-between stuff. Like they'll show what's going on, then all of a sudden they'll show like how they were interviewing the people who were sent out by the robbers, right? And they were all dressed like the robbers. So, of course, they had to question them as if they were the robbers, right? So they're like, okay, well, did you do it? Yeah, well, come on, like, but did you do it? Did you really rob the bank? Do you have something to do with this? Like, are you the suspect and stuff? So it's like it's throwing them for a loop because they don't really know who is who, but they have to take certain things into account. So they have to like get all the different names. They have to cross-reference. They have to do all types of things to make sure everybody's story lines up while they're trying to figure out who is the actual criminal, who's running with the criminal, who's actually part of this, part of this crime that's ongoing right now. So even outside of that, though, one of the as the movie progresses, I alluded to kind of being like a cat and mouse game a little bit. So what happens, like they'll do something, they'll come up with a plan, and then it's like they're thwarted immediately, right? But they can't figure out why. They're like, man, this dude was always one step ahead of us. How is he always one step ahead of us? This is crazy. It's insane. It doesn't make sense. So they find out, and this is a light spoiler, they find out that there is a way that the Clive Owen's character has been finding out what they've been doing. If you're using your brain right now and you haven't seen this movie, you might know what I'm talking about. If you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was like, with that big twist right there, man, I lost my mind. I was like, yo, I can't believe like that was how he was a step ahead. I was like, that's crazy. That's insane. And it's just the way that it was set up. And then there's this really good dolly shot. You know, Spike Lee is known for his dolly shots. There's one really good dolly shot. I can't remember exactly what it's in relation to, but I just figured I'd bring that up because I wasn't going to bring it up any other time. But when he finds out, man, he's like, yo, no, we got to kill, because they had like this big operation, this big plan that they were going to do to get inside of the bank and save people and figure out who the bad guys were. However, like I said, because Clive Owen's character was one step ahead of them, because he, was able to find out what they were up to. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna spoil it. It came out 20 years ago. If you didn't see it, you didn't fucking see it. But it's on Peacock if you want to watch it. It's on Peacock for you to stream now if you have Peacock. So pretty much the Clive Owen's character gave them like this board that he kind of like communicated with them on, like asked them to like send them food and stuff like that. But on the board, it was bugged. So Clive almost could hear everything they were saying, could hear every step of every plan they were doing, and he was just playing along, but he was always putting himself one step ahead, kind of like keeping them on their toes, and also just kind of effing with them. So it kind of got to the point, like when they found out, by the time they found out what was going on and they realized it was bugged, that's when Clive Owen's character was like, oh, damn, they got us. So they came up with a completely different plan to like get the hostages outside of the thing, but also so they can get away. Because like I said, they have all the hostages dressed like them. So when they come out of the building, the plan was for the police to just, shoot the rubber bullets, throw some smoke gas, and like, pretty much take control of the situation. But they couldn't do that. So all these people running out just like the bank robbers, and so like it's like rubber bullets flying around galore, and it's just like really insane. But they end up, they end up not necessarily catching anybody, but they were able to clear everything out. They were able to run an investigation. They got inside the bank. They tried to figure out what was going on. They figured out they had relations to do with a certain safe, but then they realized that that's not safe, but locker. But I don't know too much about what the fuck is inside of a bank. Let me see if I got it in my notes, if I happen to write that down. The little box, the box thing, the box. You use the key to open the box inside the bank. I don't know. I don't go that deep into a bank. I'm like middle class. But so it was they go in there, so they find out that while they're looking through the bank records and everything, and also while Jodie Foster's character is pretty much like bribed Denzel Washington with like all these different types of things. Like she was like, yeah, you can promote it, you'll be seen as the hero, blah, 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 blah. And so Denzel uses that power though, because because at one point he got taken off the case, but he used the power bestowed upon him by Jodie Foster's character to be like, nah, I'm going back in there, I'm solving the case, I'm doing this and that, I'm running shit. And since, since I'm held as the hero of this case, I still feel like there's a couple of things missing. So I'm gonna go tie up some loose ends. I'm gonna figure some shit out. So he figured it out. He figured out people were being shady. People were playing, bending the rules. They were trying to protect certain things. And so he figured it out, and he pretty much like G-checked everybody. And that shit was gangster. Like if you know Denzel can be gangster. and that shit was gangster. Like, that shit was tight. I know I'm saying that, and it's like, oh, you're not gangster. You're so lame. You're saying gangster. Who says that, Dave? You're so lame. I know, I'm lame. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, all in all, like by the end of the movie, man, it's just really cool because just the way that everything kind of unravels and stuff like that. It was very interesting. It was it's very engaging. I definitely liked it. It was just like it just like the way everything elevated and escalated. And then once you get to the twist of like, them being wired the whole time, them being bugged the whole time. Oh my gosh. Like I said, it was just amazing. I definitely did enjoy this film. I do remember watching this film when I was younger, but like, it was just like, certain scenes or certain parts like triggered that memory that like, oh, I did see this when I was younger, back in 2006. I don't know that I had too much of an opinion on this back in 2006. But I will say that watching this 20 years after its release and seeing just the type of movie this is and what went into making this movie, just like not just like on a production scale, because I didn't watch the behind the scenes, but just watching it as a movie and watching it unfold and seeing just like what is like happening and having an idea of how much it might have taken for production to get all this stuff done. I have to really commend it. It's a very well shot, very well directed Spike Lee joint. Why wouldn't it be well directed? And extremely well acted film. And I absolutely did enjoy it. This movie, it currently sits at a oh wow, hold on. They did talk about doing a sequel. But they're not gonna do it. Well, they didn't do it, but in 2019, a sequel titled Inside Man Most Wanted was released direct to video and streaming on Netflix. I don't what's this one? This was directed by MJ Bassett and it stars Amul Amin, Rhea Seehorn, and Sam McKee. And this one is about what is this one about? So it's supposed to take place 5 years after Dalton Russell's gang stole the loot from the bank of Arthur Case. Okay. So it takes place 5 years after the first one. And this is a lot more than I want to read. So I honestly don't really. Okay. Well, I don't. But I feel like I've seen this. I feel like not the movie, but just the poster. I feel like I've seen that poster before. I've never seen the sequel. I don't know nothing about it, but if y'all have seen it, let me know. But this movie, like I said, was released in March 24th, 2006. It was almost officially 20 years old. Let's see. Critically, 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. This sits at 2 hours and 9 minutes. My personal rating for this movie, I'll give it a 4.9 out of 5 stars. I definitely did enjoy it. I do encourage you to check it out if you haven't seen it. Inside Man is now streaming on Peacock. I don't know. Do I have anything to say about this film? I do not. All I got to say is just shout out to Spike Lee and shout out to Denzel and shout out to the whole cast and crew. This was a great movie, and it definitely does hold up in the year 2026 as one of the most interesting and one of the most thrilling movies that I personally have ever seen. And I know I'm not the only one who says that. It is considered I'm not gonna say cult classic because obviously not a cult classic, but it is considered a very it is one of, I think, because when you look up Denzel Washington and you look up some of his more famous films, I do believe Inside Man is like within the top 10, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked, it was a while ago. But yeah, definitely make sure you check it out. It's on Peacock. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. I was doing a lot of padding in the runtime. I don't know why. But thank you all for tuning in, though. That's all I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. And until next time, y'all, I know the month is almost over, but trust me, we got more lined up, especially one of the videos I'm really excited about. So Best way to keep up with that is to make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following, and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and get out of y'all hair. So until next time, be easy, stay breezy, stay black, y'all. Yeah, I'm still doing it. And Black Excellence Month ain't over yet, baby. Stay black. Peace.